The rivalry between the United States and China under President Donald Trump became impossible to miss. Anyone following the two powers in those years could see the contrast clearly. Trump was pushing an aggressive economic offensive on Beijing, aiming for fast, short-term wins. But his Chinese counterpart, Xi Jinping, was acting like he was entering a long, Cold War. He dealt with Trump through a strategy prepared over years, one shaped by lessons from the Soviet Union's failed confrontation with America. According to the Wall Street Journal, Xi's advisors understood that the U.S. still held overwhelming economic and military superiority. Their goal was to avoid a direct clash and preserve China's strength for a much longer contest. Xi focused on what Mao Zedong once called strategic stalemate, a phase where China could manage U.S. pressure, minimize risk, and buy time until it could close the gap and eventually overtake the United States. Mingson Pei of Claremont McKenna College put it bluntly, "For China, achieving strategic stalemate is the most realistic outcome in the foreseeable future. To get there, China has been working relentlessly to shrink the distance between itself and the U.S. in every field, especially militarily. Nothing shows this better than China's Navy. In just 25 years, China moved from having one of the weakest and most corrupt naval forces to possessing the largest navy on Earth by number of ships. Their latest milestone is the launch of China's third and most advanced aircraft carrier, Fujian. Fujian represents more than a new ship. It signals China entering a domain that was long considered an exclusive American club. China already fields the world's largest navy, the largest arsenal of ballistic and cruise missiles, and a standing army of nearly 2 million troops. But aircraft carrier technology was always its sore point. The U.S. dominated that field for decades. That began to change with Fujian. To understand how China got here, you have to go back to 1995. The U.S. approved a visa for Taiwanese President Lee Teng-hui, letting him visit Cornell University. Beijing saw this as a threat to its One China principle. China recalled its ambassador, canceled a defense minister's visit to Washington, and fired 6 missiles into waters just 100 miles from Taiwan. As tensions escalated, China gathered around 100,000 troops in Fujian province. The U.S. responded by sending 2 aircraft carriers near the Taiwan Strait in March 1996. They didn't enter the strait, but the message was unmistakable. China had no defenses that could threaten American carriers. It left Beijing feeling humiliated and determined. China wanted its own carriers, but the financial cost and lack of expertise made it impossible. So they turned to an unusual opportunity. After the Soviet Union collapsed, Ukraine inherited a 70% complete carrier called Varyag. It sat rusting for years. China eventually acquired it through a clever ruse. A former basketball player posing as a casino investor bought it for just $20 million, claiming he wanted to turn it into a floating casino in Macau. In reality, the ship was towed to Dalian, painted naval gray, and rebuilt. By 2012, it officially entered service as Liaoning, China's first aircraft carrier. It was limited, far behind American carriers, but for Beijing, it was a starting point. Using everything they learned from Liaoning, China built its second carrier, Shandong, entirely at home. It launched in 2019. Again, still weaker than U.S. carriers, but another step forward. Then came the real breakthrough. In 2025, China officially launched Fujian, its third and most advanced carrier. Fujian is a major leap in capability. It is equipped with electromagnetic aircraft catapults, making China only the second country in the world, after the U.S., to use the EMALS system. These catapults allow heavier aircraft to take off with more fuel and weapons, striking targets at longer ranges. Professor Lyle Goldstein of the U.S. Naval War College told The Washington Post that Fujian's electromagnetic catapults do not represent a small leap. They multiply China's lethal combat power 3 or 4 times. Fujian weighs around 80,000 tons and can carry about 60 aircraft, including advanced stealth fighters like the J-35, electronic warfare aircraft, and anti-submarine planes. It can also operate the KJ-600 airborne early warning aircraft, allowing Chinese carrier groups to function far from shore support. Fujian will always travel with a strike group of roughly 10 Chinese warships, giving Beijing, for the first time, a carrier task force capable of challenging American naval dominance in the Pacific. But the U.S. still holds major advantages. America has 11 aircraft carriers, China has 3. And all U.S. carriers are nuclear-powered able to operate for years without refueling. Fujian, like China's earlier carriers, uses conventional engines and needs refueling roughly every 10,000 nautical miles. Yet this gap may close too. Associated Press reported in 2024 that China completed a prototype nuclear reactor for a future large warship. This strongly suggests China's fourth carrier may be nuclear-powered. China is now the world's largest shipbuilder. It has so many shipyards that it could build multiple carriers simultaneously, along with a vast number of supporting warships. In just 13 years, China went from 0 carriers to 3, forming the world's second-largest carrier fleet. If this pace continues, the next 13 years could see even more Chinese carriers, and increasingly comparable to their American counterparts. Xi Jinping stated in 2017 that the modernization of the Chinese military must be completed by 2035, and by 2050, China should have a world-class force capable of winning in any theater of war. The question now is straightforward. At this pace, will China hit that target, or will it need longer? Share your view in the comments, and if you enjoyed the breakdown, subscribe for more episodes. See you in the next one.